This was the moment Light Yagami wanted to kill someone more than ever, for L had actually revealed his identity right to his face. Hearing this, Light's heart began to race. He never expected that the L he was so obsessed with would appear before him in such a startling fashion. However, he quickly regained his composure and claimed that L was someone he deeply respected and admired. This response caused L's suspicion to waver, yet out of everyone, Light Yagami still remained the prime suspect for being Kira. Meanwhile, Light's mind was in a state of absolute turmoil. He wasn't sure if this man was truly L or just using the alias Ryuga Hideki. The name was obviously a fake if he were to write it down now. Victim wouldn't be L, but the famous idol of the same name. Wouldn't that be walking straight into L's trap? Back home, Light grew increasingly furious, realizing he had been completely outmaneuvered. Light even felt a grudging sense of admiration for L. This self-revelation seemed suicidal, but it was actually a masterfully calculated move. Regardless of whether he ended up being killed by Kira, this was the most effective way to both identify and defend against him.
Magnificent. It was a long night for them both, preparing for the next move. Next morning, Ella abruptly challenged Light to a game of tennis.
On the surface, this was just a friendly match between classmates, but in reality, both were playing a high-stakes game of psychological warfare, as both were top-tier champions in youth tennis. A massive crowd of students quickly gathered to watch. L knew that Kira possessed an intense will to win, but even so, that alone wouldn't prove Light Yagami was Kira. Light, however, had already seen right through L's scheme, but if he were to lose on purpose for fear of being exposed, on the contrary, it would only heighten L's suspicion, so winning or losing this match is irrelevant. This is just layers building a rapport, a ploy to trick him into revealing information that only Kira would know. However, Light Yagami won't let L have his way so easily. He is also seeking a way to confirm L's true identity. After the match, Light invites L for a cup of coffee, mentioning that he has a favor to ask. But one sentence from L makes Light's heart skip a beat. L tells Light in a very straightforward manner if he can prove his innocence, then L will personally invite him to join the investigation team. This statement leaves Light Yagami completely speechless. How is he even supposed to prove his own innocence? In the end, L has managed to put him in check first. Later, the two arrive at a coffee shop, where L pulls out 3 photos showing notes written by prisoners before their deaths. Though Light knows exactly what they are, he performs his own deduction. He suggests that Kira has the power to manipulate a victim's actions before death, and even aligns the beginning of each note to reveal the hidden message. Shinigami loved apples. However, L claims that Light's deduction is flawed and pulls a 4th photo from his pocket, which says the Shinigami's hands are red. Light sees through it instantly as a fake because he never made a criminal write that. Little does he know this is yet another test by L. L believes Light had a preconceived notion that there were only 3 photos, never expecting a 4th, which made his deduction suspiciously narrow. Light is internally realizing that no matter what L says, he isn't testing Light's deductive skills at all. Rather, he was observing Light's reaction to the photo, hoping he would slip up. Light Yagami had no intention of playing along with a completely unbothered attitude. He told L that this constant guessing game was getting tiresome. After all, he wasn't Kira. At this point, L offered another tempting proposition. Since Light's deductive reasoning was so sharp, why not join the investigation team? Hearing this, Light thought, how incredibly tactical of you. If he were Kira, he would eventually reveal his true colors during the investigation. If he weren't, his reasoning skills would be a great asset to the police. Either way, the situation played right into L's hands. Thus, Light decisively rejected the invitation. Unless L could prove his own identity first. L couldn't help but admire just how cautious this guy truly was. At the same time, this only deepened his suspicion that Light was Kira. Further lure him in, L agreed to let Light meet the investigation team. Just then, both of their phones rang simultaneously.
Your lucky is too cold, I'm telling you. Give me one, I'm really looking forward to it. You got me good this one.
Next is the commentary and analysis of this episode. Honestly, while I was watching this, I really wanted to call them out. Every single sentence is a mind game. On the surface, everything looks ordinary, but internally, World War III has already broken out between them. The author's brilliant mind is almost a waste of talent on just making anime. The highlight of this episode is L's self reveal. It was absolutely legendary. Compared to this, everything else pales in significance. L stepped out from the shadows, turning Kira's anonymous global hunt into a localized one-on-one confrontation. He forces Kira to play by the rules of a game of his own design. He observes how Kira will respond to this direct provocation. Fortunately, Light Yagami saw through L's intentions, delivering a flawless performance. That effectively lowered L's suspicion. When L produces the fourth photo, he doesn't care about Light Yagami's reasoning at all. Instead, he focuses solely on his opponent's reaction. Any inconsistency in micro-expressions or logic would allow L to expose Light's flaws. In the face of relentless pressure, Light successfully turns the tables, throwing the burden of proof back onto L. This not only regains the initiative for him, but also demonstrates a cautious nature that refuses to be easily manipulated, which ironically earns him more of L's respect. Yet it also deepens L's suspicion while the final call leaves the audience in suspense. The news of Soichiro Yagami's sudden heart attack. Could Light have done this himself? Protect his identity? Would he truly go so far as to strike down his own father? Let's wait and see what happens next.